All right. Well, first of all, it's 6:30 p.m. in Alberta, and welcome everybody to the virtual open house, the Paramedic program session. My name is Fred Light. I am the coordinator of the Paramedic programs. I spent 2 years instructing the ACP program, so the Advanced Care Paramedics, and now this year I am coordinating the programs. So, welcome. With me is Megan O'Brien. She is the instructor for the Advanced Care Paramedic program, and also Wyatt Roach, who is the instructor for the Primary Care Paramedic. Now, all three of us, have worked car and worked ambulance in various capacities. So what we bring to the program is a real world perspective of what you'll need to know out there in the field and in the future. So Northern Lakes College provides two separate programs. The primary care program is your introductory. So this is kind of your door in to the industry. You learn your basic life support, as well as primary care paramedics have come into the industry to be able to give various medications as well to treat patients. The advanced care paramedics are able to do more medications and help in different ways, such as advanced airways. So, during operations or surgeries, some people need tubes down their throats, and these advanced care paramedics are able to do those skills. So both work in conjunction with each other throughout Alberta and the area. So I'm going to start with the primary care paramedic. So in order to become an advanced care paramedic, you got to start somewhere, and the primary care paramedic is the best place to be. It's a full-time blended delivery. So that means it's a combination of your face-to-face, so on-sites in Slave Lake, Alberta. We have a very nice facility there, very accommodating for students. There is housing available, as well as various hotels throughout the city that students do frequent. It is taught distance, so your fundamentals, your book knowledge, your didactics are presented through Brightspace, through both lectures and videos and images and explanation. And these sessions are every week. Each course gets 3 hours a week, 1 day a week. So say I taught pulmonary, and I would teach that on Thursday mornings from 9 till noon. And that's your class. They're all recorded on Collaborate. You're able to interact with your instructors as well. And then they are also recorded. So if you are working, you do have a part-time job or a job that kept you away from class that day, you are able to catch up with the recordings later on in the day or even the week. But we do encourage you to keep up with your classwork, because if you are to fall behind, it is very difficult for some students. So the primary care paramedic is a 1-year program. So in term one, so the fall term, your September to December, you take your anatomy and physiology. So that is learning how the body works, the mechanics of it, and gives you a great foundation for the rest of your career to have that knowledge. You take your emergency medical technician foundations 1, your intro to English, and your pre-hospital care foundations. The EMTF 1100 and the PHCF 1000 are both your ambulance work, learning your skills to be out into the field. And then you also get these university credits as well for these classes in order to further your career further down the line. In term 2, your winter term, January to April, again, you take your emergency medical technician foundation, 2, another university course, so your health education, your pathophysiology, which gives you a really in-depth pull it apart, kind of how the body works and how things in your system works. It's an excellent addition to your anatomy and physiology. And then your pharmacology. So an introduction to pharmacology, which is a huge asset in our field. We give medications, patients are on medications. So we really try to give the student a solid foundation so when they get out into the real world, they know what to kind of expect. In your third term, so the spring term, you're May to June, that's when we put you out into the field. That's when you get a little bit of hospital experience, you get a little bit of ambulance experience, and you get to ride on ambulance and actually take part being a third person on an ambulance and learning from actual real world practitioners that are currently in the field. At this time, I'll ask Wyatt, is there anything you want to add to the primary care paramedic? I'm just going to go through the on-sites next.
Hi everyone, so I'm Wyatt. So I teach you guys anatomy and physiology in your fall term, and I also teach your pathophysiology and your pharmacology in the winter term. There's not much to add to what Fred was saying. I'm not sure if we're time restrained here, Fred, but if anybody has any questions for me, I can definitely try to answer them.
All right. Well, I'll come back to you, Wyatt, for sure. Okay, I'm just going to go through the on-sites because as a requirement, they are mandatory for attendance and success in the program. Some that concerns some students because they do travel from different destinations and different areas of the province in order to take our program. So to give you a good idea, the program length is 38 weeks. So that's your fall term, your winter term, and your spring term all together. In the 2022 year, in September, we'll have the orientation. You get to look around the facilities. You get to meet the instructors. You'll get to meet Wyatt, and you'll get to meet Jen. Jen has been with us for many years now, and she brings the way she runs the program is just magnificent. On site one, that's when you start to get into your the basics. You get to a feel for wearing a uniform, you get a feel for the hands-on, learn how to take a blood pressure, that kind of thing. And then as the on-sites progress, you learn more and more and more, and you get to do a lot of things. I've had the opportunity to observe and jump in with a few of the scenarios that the PCPs, we call them PCPs, primary care paramedics, get to do. And it's fun. It's real life experience. They really try to bring those on sites alive to really engage the students. And I commend them in the work that they do. And then once you complete that, you're successfully done up until your finals. You've completed all the coursework. Now we send you out in May to the hospital and ambulance practicums. So you get to work with nurses, you can get to work next to doctors, you get to work with experienced paramedics, and it really brings you, to a comfortable position in your schooling. What are the admission requirements? So you have to have credits in the following courses or equivalent. So your biology 30 is 60%, or an A&P 1000, 50%. Your A&P 0190 at 60%, or a biology at 60%. These are crucial for the basics of what you're learning. We will get down to the cellular level of things. So having the basics in biology is essential in order to grasp what we're talking about. Your English, of course, you will have to write essays, so it's good to get prepped and get ready to go. And then your credits in math. Once you get into the medications, you start applying things. You start giving IVs to patients. You need to know how to calculate drip rates. You need to know how to drop medications. You need to know your math in order to have the foundations in order to bring it to class so that you don't struggle in that way. If English is a second language, refer to the International Student Information for fluency requirements. Applicants may be required to hold an interview with a program coordinator, which is me. So you need to be at least 18 years of age at the time of program completion. So if you come in and you're 17 and your birthday is in April, like mine is, hint, hint, then then you are eligible to complete the program because you will be 18 years of age by June of that year. So that'll be okay. Proof of a valid driver's license, class 5, as a paramedic or a primary care paramedic or an advanced care paramedic, you will require a class 4 driver's license once you are completed. That allows you to drive the ambulance legally. A current CPR, of course, very crucial. Sometimes people take the CPR course and they find, nope, not my thing. So it's good to have those. A clear criminal record check with the vulnerable sector. We do deal with a lot of youth and elderly, and we need to know that the people that we're putting out there are of high standing and high quality. Your immunization record, AHS does require us to have both vaccinations in order to work on CAR, and that is required for our students as well. Core computer skills, which if you're on here, you're pretty well there. And then students are required to have a mobile tablet device with a screen no smaller than 9 inches, compatible with Comp Tracker competency tracking software. That is how we track your competencies on those on-sites. You get to do interesting skills with the instructors. Once you're completed that skill and you are good at that skill, we will sign it off, and then you get so many of those, and that's part of your completion of the program as well. Students must have reliable high-speed internet access and mobile device compatible with the college technology requirements, which isn't too out of the realm of possibilities. So all this stuff, what am I looking into? The estimated cost of the course is $5,506.04. Now, don't forget that 4 cents. Sorry. Job opportunities. I'm not sure whether you have saw the news or know what's going on in the world, but healthcare is at an all-time high for requirements and necessity. So everybody's always looking for both primary care paramedics and advanced care paramedics throughout the country, throughout the province. And many of our students actually turn out to get hired in the place that they did their practicum. So the job opportunities are out there for all the qualified candidates. Your starting wage, this is just ballpark for your primary care paramedic, is 27 to 34. It depends on where you go and what you do. Also with the job opportunities, it doesn't just limit you to working ambulance. It also works on industrial sites, in the oil industry, in health clinics, and the job opportunities are becoming more and more as the times go on. All right, so I am about to transition into the advanced care paramedic program. Wyatt, is there anything you would like to add or any questions about the primary care at this time?
Yeah, just to reiterate what Fred was saying, the primary care paramedic program, it's a very rewarding program. So you get to go into healthcare, you get to jump in quick, and it's a very fast-paced program. So it's about a year long, like you said, and then you get to be working out in an ambulance and going to emergencies. So it is a very rewarding career altogether, and it's in high demand right now. So there's lots of job opportunities, and yeah, that's about all I can say about it right now.
Awesome. Yep, we always hear about new job opportunities, and we actually have quite a few companies that want to come in and just recruit and say, hey, once you're done, if you want to work here, we'll welcome you. So thank you, Wyatt. All right, I'm going to move on to my next slide, which would be the Advanced Care Paramedic Program. So this program is a 2-year program. Altogether, about 68 weeks. That's an estimate, depending on success and practicum, of course. It's a full-time blended delivery, just like the primary care paramedic. And we do actually have quite a few of our primary care paramedic students progress to the advanced care paramedic program as well. Again, like I said, full-time blended delivery, combination of face-to-face on-sites in Slave Lake, Alberta. We will be having the course in Slave Lake, Alberta, starting September 2022 for the new cohort coming in. So if you're interested in coming in, it will be in Slave Lake. Many hotels, many amenities, good place to have it. The distance, of course, like I said, is approximately 3 to 4 hour courses once a week for each course. So in the first term of the paramedic program, you would take your trauma course, so all your broken bones and your cuts and bruises and your burns, your pharmacology, so all your medications that you'll be dealing with and medications you'll see in the field, and then your medical, so your diabetic issues, your at a loss right now, your medical issues, so your appendicitis, your diabetic issues, anything to do with that. You take those 3 courses in that first term, and one would be Monday, one would be Wednesday, and one would be Friday, depending on the schedule. Instructors are always available through email, and if you log into the scheduled time for the courses, you are able to engage and talk and ask questions to your instructor in the live aspect. For the on-sites, this is where we get to do play with the high fidelity simulators. We get to intubate patients, so if you have an interest in this, you get the hands-on experience. Next week, we're taking obstetrics. So I have a bunch of obstetrics dolls, and the students get to practice how to deliver a baby with an actual life-size everything. So it gets pretty interesting, and it's pretty exciting to do. One thing I forgot to mention is that the primary care paramedic program does do an MCI every year. So they get help from the fire department, and it's a big ordeal, and it's something it's pretty exciting for the students and then everybody that partakes as well. For the advanced care paramedic, we do have a survival week. So we take the students out to the Martin Lakes campus. There's cabins for the students to stay and a big lodge, and we learn survival skills for that week. It's not exactly roughing it, but it is a fun time and a good experience for people. So in your first year of medic school, like I was saying, your term 1 is your fall term, September to December. This is where you take your introduction to the English language and literature and ethics in helping professions. The Paramedic Foundations and Care of Trauma Patient is your trauma course. This is, your car accidents. This is your falls. This is where we cover those topics and then use those topics and scenarios, and you get to act it out more or less, right? Your pharmacology for paramedics, again, your foundations for all the medications that you'll run into, and then advanced care, emergency care for the medical patient, so your diabetic issues. And other medical issues, appendicitis and gallstones and that sort of thing. Term 2, your winter term, your January till April, we learn about the heart with your advanced cardiac care for paramedics. So you learn to defibrillate hearts, pace hearts, and we do that in real time. In the advanced pulmonary care, this is where you deal with patients with respiratory problems, your asthma, your bronchitis, and your intubations on these patients. And your gynecological, obstetrical, and your neonatal care for paramedics is you're delivering baby. That's what we're doing next week. All right, we're delivering babies. We're learning how that happens because I've had a few on my cars, and I'm sure Wyatt and Megan have as well. Um, and then you take your introduction to research and the introduction to the study of society. So those are your university classes. Successful in the first term, you move on to the second, we'll throw you into the third, and that's your intermediate practicum. So that's May to June. So that's your time on ambulance with experienced advanced care paramedics, where you really get to start thinking like a paramedic. In your second year of medic school, your term 1, September to December, is your advanced skills and special populations. So that's your kind of your critical care kind of stuff, your chest tubes and all that. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, but if you don't, come and learn. And then your paramedic practicum, so the hospital. So that's where you get to work side by side in the hospital with doctors and nurse practitioners and RNs and everybody there. And then paramedic development too. That's just a program that we have, or a course that we have, to just kind of build you guys up to get you out into the street as strong as we can make you. Term 2, your winter term, you take paramedic practicum, so your advanced ambulance. That's when you're running the show. All right, you're the paramedic, and they want to see how you do. And then you'll also finish off with your psychology for the healthcare professional. This just helps you build a foundation again and build you strong so that you last and you have longevity in the program. I've been talking here for a bit. Megan, is there anything you wanted to add before I move on?
Sure.
On the on-sites?
Yeah, sure. My name is Megan. I am one of the full-time advanced care paramedic instructors. I will just add in one way that I describe school for people who haven't really been in EMS is that it's like a trade. So if you do want to get into paramedicine, you take about a year of schooling to get your first level. And then if you like that as your primary care paramedic, you then go back to school with me for another 2 years and about a year of practicum, and that gets you your advanced care. And that is as high as you can go for paramedicine. So for your advanced care paramedic, you've already been working as a primary care paramedic. You already know the ins and outs, and we're just exaggerating and adding on to your practice. Yeah, that's about it. Take it away, Fred.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. All right. So what does it entail in these 2 years? So in the 2022-2023 year, the first September 6th to the 9th is the orientation. And that is the week that we are going to take you out to the wilderness. So we will prep you, we will tell you what to bring, and it'll be a great experience. You'll get to meet everybody, and it's a great opportunity for everybody to have a chance to bond and get to know each other, because working online and in your hometowns and that kind of thing, sometimes you miss the connection with your fellow students. So this orientation week and this wilderness course gives us an opportunity to get to know everybody and to really kick off the year strong. Your September on-sites from September, October, November, and December, those are your hands-on on-sites. They're busy, they're tiring, but you get the real experience of being a paramedic and get to ask various instructors with various knowledge, different questions, and challenge them. And sometimes they go home and they're like, oh, that was a tough one. So they're studying as well, right? And all the instructors that we bring in are wage instructors that work on the street and come in to assist us and really bring a lot to our program. And then we have an on-site in December, and then we do our testing online. So we'll do the hands-on testing 1 week, and then you go home and you can write your finals on that. In the 2023 year, same kind of thing. Your January, February, March, busy weeks. In March, these major courses we have to take and keep current courses such as advanced care life support, pediatric advanced life support, neonatal resuscitation, and then as well as ITLS. We won't be giving the ITLS, but we'll send you to a week courses in Edmonton at the Western Institute. They've got beautiful facilities out there, and we are able to do all those courses in just 1 week. And so that's something we've changed in the last couple of years that just seems to work perfectly for our students. And it's beautiful. Yeah, so much fun. It's a beautiful facility. So the students really enjoy going there. Oh, I got 4 minutes left. So your academic requirements, you need your PCP certificate or a current PCP registration with the Alberta College of Paramedics. So you need to be a registered PCP or have completed the course before, but not both. You need your biology 30 or a credit or equivalent, your English 30, and your math 20. Again, all of those, you're writing essays, you're doing math equations with medications, and you need to have the fundamentals of your biology in order to kind of help you along the way. Other requirements, so we'll need the proof of PCP certificate and transcript, a copy of your current CPR card, and it is required. Proof of a class 1, 2, or 4 driver's license or equivalent. Criminal record with your vulnerable sector check obtained within 90 days of proof of program. Your immunization record completed in full. Some Q-core computer skills like word processing, spreadsheets, internet, and email. And then students need to be in good physical and emotional and mental health in order to meet the physical and psychological demands of their role. Students are required to have an Apple iPad with screen no smaller than 9 inches, compatible with ComTracker competency tracking software. And that's what we use to sign off the skills that you do on the on-sites. The physical and emotional, it is a busy program. It is hard. It is a 2-year program. So come prepared to do the work, but it is super rewarding. Anybody that was or is a paramedic loves it. The estimated cost, your first year is about $83.10 and 58 cents. And then your second year will be $5,266 and 52 cents. Job opportunities, of course, high demand. Paramedics are needed anywhere and everywhere, on sites, on the street, in other provinces. The jobs are kind of endless at this point if you're willing to take the opportunity to take those jobs. Starting wage is about 34 to 43, and that is just estimate, give or take. So depending where you go and where you work. So in conclusion, these are our paramedic programs, your primary care and your advanced care. I love the job. Yep, that's about it. No, but high demand, high need, very rewarding. You get to be on the ground floor of everything. You get to help people from right when the injury happens to when you get them to safety and they're comfortable. So I've found it to be a very rewarding job. Sorry, I'm going over time. Is there any questions? All right, well, that concludes this session of the open house. Thank you everybody for attending. And if this was interesting, tune back in at 7:30.